surprising if more snacks pop up along the way, and it'll take months, many months before enough people get vaccinated to really stop this virus.
Now we have to be patient. NPR science correspondent Rob Stein, thank you.
You bet, Robin.
And Pfizer announced today that the United States will buy another 100 million doses of its vaccine, which will be delivered by next summer. That doubles what the U.S. government had already ordered from Pfizer, and it's yet another sign
What
that
can I
rich
close?
countries have an
There's
advantage
too many
in the
things
race to
open.
vaccinate
Alexa,
their
stop.
citizens, because they're able to sign these big
Maybe I'll close some of these tabs. Okay. No pointer exception. Attempting to call resize. So this thing is, what do you get set? I need some music. Okay, so frame buffer gets set here. So is that throwing an error? Failed to read required asset file. Okay. Okay, so I didn't pull over the assets. Let's see. Hello, Jumpy Apple. Welcome to the stream. I am trying to debug why this keeps crashing. What am I looking for? Oh, Getting lots of errors. Application manifest must contain metadata. ARCore. It is complicated. Apparently the ARCore code exposes a lot of lower level rendering stuff, which is fine, but I'm pulling this in from their example, and I'm just trying to get it to run so that way I can build on top of it. But we'll see, because I don't actually have an Android device to run this augmented reality stuff on. I do have this device, but it won't charge. Anyway, I just need to get this to stop crashing. That would be the good first start. Have you done any Android development, Jumpy? Metadata. It's there. Oh. Application manifest, not activity. Oh, okay, that was right. I'm guessing that it didn't take off for you. You did not pursue a career in being an Android developer. Okay. Okay, so we're still getting this error. Okay, so we're just missing the asset file now. You know, honestly, since Kotlin came around, it's a little bit less clear to me, but I'm learning it. I started doing iOS development first, and when I wrote my first Android application, I did not understand half of the life cycle things that were going on, and I wrote a really bad Android application, but my friend saved it for me because he was a good Android developer. I could give you a crash course if you want. What am I looking for? Assets. Okay. So, do you have any experience with any other development, like iOS development or general application development? Okay. All right. So, Android applications have a entry point. Let's see if I can find it. So this one's going to be a bit weird because it's using injection to inject dependencies. But for the most part, like any other application, here's your entry point. So this would be your index.html for you. If you have, if you're a web developer, and here, well, not here, in the Android manifest, we say, hey, and this is just a config file, and it says, hey, this is the main activity. So the activity is like the thing you want to show. So you have your application, which is the thing that's your entry point, and then you have the actual thing that you want to show. So I guess the equivalent would be the root window in web development, or yeah, like your first div that you want to start rendering things inside of. And these activities have weird life cycles. So the idea in Android is that, yeah, like a scene. So this is the scene. If we're talking like Unity development or something, I don't know where does what is a scene in your experience? Like what? I've never heard of scenes in web app development, but you can think of it like a scene. It's a staging place where things can start to happen. So if we look at our main activity, the idea in Android that's different than iOS is that you can like birth an activity at any point in time, and because of that, you need to be able to tear it down and save all of the state. So in Android, it has all these weird lifecycle events like on create view, on destroy, none of which are being shown here. Let's see. Yeah, here we go. So you can see here, this is the stage, and at any point, an activity could be launched. In our case, we're launching it because the application started, but an activity could be launched because a user asks to open your application from like a web link that links back to an application. So pretty much, you have this activity that's launched. OnCreate is called. It's passed in a bundle that gives it any data that it needs to restore, any contextual data it needs, like, oh, I came from a web page, or I came from a request to do a calculation, or like I need the app to jump to this view specifically. So that's all passed in on create. On start gives you the opportunity to like start building up things like web connections, those sorts of things. And then on resume says, hey, this was asleep and now we're just waking it back up again. So we already have views and stuff. We just need to refresh those views, for example. And then the activity is running. So that's when it's visible, present. And then we have our pause. So that's when it goes into the, when it's no longer visible to the user. On stop is whenever the system's like, hey, you're not using this anymore. Your application is closed. So we're going to go ahead and destroy this, and then actual destroyed. So this is the life cycle. This is the part that I didn't understand, because in iOS, everything is persistent for the most part. All of your stages are persistent, even if you're not necessarily looking at them. And in Android, the idea is that the OS, the operating system, at any point can say, hey, I need to kill your activity, so save everything you need to in order to resume this later. And this changed a little bit, or no, I think you can make it so the OS didn't do that, but back in the day on old Android devices, it just meant that you just used up a ton of memory, and then your whole application could be killed. So this is pretty much like the fundamental component of understanding. Maybe not the fun. So there's activities, which are these almost like process level representations of a scene. And then you have these things called fragments that are supposed to hold views and a little bit of logic. Fragments in Android, and this is where it gets complicated. Fragments also have a life cycle. There have been many diatribes online about how people hate fragments because they just add another layer of abstraction to an already abstracted thing. So these fragments get attached to an activity, and you can see it here on the, let's see if we can get this picture to be bigger. Show me. I want to see it. Yeah, there's a lot of hate on fragments. Can I just see the picture, please? This is a really good picture, too. Are you serious? You're not going to show me the picture. I have to buy the ebook. I am shook right now. But yeah, effectively, you can see that there's a whole nother set of life cycle events here. that just you have to maintain separate. And so a fragment just holds some like views. So that way you can treat it as an enclosed component that the activity doesn't have to manage anymore. So in iOS, we used to have this problem where the view controller would get so bloated because you didn't want the view to have a bunch of control, but you had a main controller that was interacting with a ton of different widgets on the screen, and the controllers were becoming really fat. So in Android, they tried to solve that with fragments, but while it did solve the bloat problem in the activity, it created all this lifecycle headache of like, when is a fragment actually destroyed? If I bring it back up, what's happening? And so this whole fragment management stuff was kind of screwy for a while. But I stepped away from Android for a bit. I don't know if it's still screwy. But here we are. So those are those two high-level components that are fundamental to understanding Android, and then everything else is kind of like basic programming. All right, where were we? I need to move my assets over. What asset am I missing? Models, trigrid. Let's see. No problem. I'm actually relearning it. I stopped writing code about a year and a half ago when I became a manager, which I feel sad about. But I'm getting back into it now. I just finished a project with a Raspberry Pi with a temperature sensor that I kept in my fridge, which was a fun project if you've never worked with the Raspberry Pi before. It lets you do a lot of cool stuff. Where do my assets go? Let's try throwing them at the top level here. Oh yeah. Yeah, I actually finished it. It was a really interesting story arc because my refrigerator actually started to die. Like, I had all the historical temperature data that I had been saving, and you could see, like, at some point my refrigerator starts to make a really weird loud noise, and you can see the, like, temperature starts to spike in weird ways. It gets down to like freezing, and then it's up at 60 degrees. So on the 17th I got it replaced with a new one, and I had my temperature sensor inside of there so I could watch it get progressively colder and colder in theory. And I thought that would be a good, like, hey, look, this is what a working stable refrigerator looks like. But I just sat around for 2 days watching the temperature not change because apparently this refrigerator was broken. And so now I have a broken refrigerator that's sitting in my kitchen with a bunch of old food in it that won't be replaced till after the new year. Yeah, it's been an adventure. I hate refrigerators now. I never want to see another refrigerator in my entire life. Yeah. But now I have a mini fridge, which holds some stuff. Okay, so I think I moved my assets over, in theory. In theory. Where do you keep your assets? Okay. But the temperature sensor came in handy because I could watch as my food slowly spoiled over time. Why didn't that paste? Assets? Oh, there they are. I think these are supposed to be at the top level. Maybe? Let's see if this works. I put the whole thing inside of the fridge. So the Raspberry Pi and the sensor were and still are inside of the fridge. Where does the asset file go? Ooh. Okay, so it is a top level under app. So I think if I, so this was a fun thing. If I go, yeah, I can. Usually fridges aren't lined with lead, so they aren't impenetrable. It does, the signal does drop periodically, but usually it's pretty good, and it's at the back of the house, so it's kind of far away from the router, but this was the temperature readings over from November 12th to December 12th, and like everything's pretty cool here. You can see like at some point it gets at these little spikes here, it gets above 55 degrees. And that's usually when I'm making dinner, so I open it up and it very quickly, and the old fridge used to cool off. And then you can see like here it gets super erratic and it gets up to 60 and then down to 30. And this is pretty much, I think, when my old fridge was close to dying. It started to do a little bit better, but for the most part, it was on its way out. But yeah, it actually works. I wonder, I think the repair guy came over yesterday to look at the fridge, and he was like, "What is this?" Because he was this Russian guy. And I was like, "It's a Raspberry Pi. It's just doing temperature sensing." And he says, "I don't like it." And he takes it out. And when he takes it out, he accidentally unplugs one of the wires. And so now it's sitting unplugged. So I have no temperature sense readings right now of use to show you. Or the world. It's still exposed to the world. Where am I? Okay, so it's definitely in the app, under the app folder. Where did I put it over here? App, assets. It's definitely there. Models. It's right there. Okay, how do I need to mark it as such? I do still have your IP. I'm tracking all of you now. I've actually connected to your network already, and we're currently mining for Bitcoin on all of your computers. So thank you. You don't have to sub anybody because I'm already getting my money out of you. What am I doing? Okay, so my assets aren't actually showing up here. Why is that? Is it my Gradle? That's exactly why. It's very computationally expensive to calculate Bitcoin or to mine for Bitcoin. So yes, please don't manually turn down your GPU fan because your computer will melt. What am I looking for? Oh yeah. Where to place the assets folder? Source main? App source. There's no main in here. Oh wait. Ah. Maybe, okay, I see. Bloop. Alright, let's see if that helps. Ah, there we go. What GPU are you running right now? Speaking of GPUs, I've been stalking this Twitch, which shows you when 3070s, 3080s, and 3090s drop at various stores, because I need a new GPU. Oh, looks like this stream is suffering. Okay. So, whenever I have the Android emulator up and running, my computer. Yeah, well, it's not a bot per se. It's a. Yeah, it's a Czech website. It is a. They just hit the website and they scrape it, and if they see like, oh, if they see that the it's in stock, it'll make this really loud, annoying noise. It sounds like a missile has been launched at your house. But then everyone engages. You can see there's like almost 1,700 people in this stream just waiting for Newegg or Amazon or Best Buy to update their inventory. But so far, I haven't gotten anything. I've been following this guy, OG10K Tech, because he does custom builds and had access to a lot of inventory, but it seems like he's backlogged as well. So I just don't think I'm going to get a... Okay, didn't crash. Let's... wait. Ooh, okay. That's progress. Sorry it's so laggy on that side. The Android emulator really causes problems. No, absolutely fair. Android Studio is way, way better than Eclipse. But the emulator itself, they have not changed. They still require a ton of resources because you're effectively running a phone on your computer, which historically would be acceptable, but the phones have gotten a lot more powerful, and they have to go through a weird software layer that slows everything down. I don't miss Eclipse at all. It was good for its time, but it did not age well. Can I just need to what do I need to do? Okay, I'm gonna do this. Blunk. Nope, wrong one. Sorry, I'm just going through them. Quadro M520. Oh, it's a laptop GPU. Okay, so I'm not gonna get any Bitcoins out of that one. Oops, I put the chat box back. I meant to put the emulator back. There we go. Not the alert bot. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna bring you back. Man, things get real. Oh, I need to turn performance mode. Sorry, you can see all this stuff that I'm doing. This is going over here. Accept. Come on, you can do it. Okay. Right, now I've gone and ruined everything. There we go. That's better. Performance mode. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna shut this ARCore window. Anything else I can kill? I'm gonna kill Notion. Sorry, Notion. I'm just starved for resources right now. My CPU's at 87% because of this freaking emulator. 90%. I am destroyed. There we go. I'm back. Okay. Install. Yeah. I guess I can kill Discord since no one's gonna join me there. Can I kill anything else? I can kill Slack because I'm technically not at work. I could kill Firefox for now. I won't get the alerts. Everything's lagging. Good lord. It's all this emulator's fault. I need an Android device. Maybe I'll ask if anyone has an Android device I can borrow. So I'm working on this project now for the Wing Luke Museum in Seattle because they're trying to figure out they have a lot of interactive exhibits, but during COVID, like, you can't interact with things in the real world. So they're looking for ways that they can use Android and iOS applications to do some things through augmented reality. So I am investigating that. But I don't have a Android device. So they wanna use augmented reality, and I think cloud anchors, which are like the museum is actually pretty poor, but I have a team that I'm working with that might have one lying around. Scoring in a moment. We just got some new screens dropped. Okay, fine. I'll open up Slack again. I can't just be on my phone. Oh my god, it's so laggy. What am I going to do? Is there anything up here I can kill? I don't need Dropbox. Barry quit way down there. I don't need my Steel Series engine. I'll keep paste. Need Alfred. I don't need 1Password. I wish I could quit this. This is my work mandated virus scanner for Mac. Okay, cool. So now that that's there, let's try to run this again. What am I looking for? Slack. AR mode. Let's see what it asked of me now. Great, success! Okay, I got past the first hurdle. Let's see what camera it's going to try to use. While using the app, yeah. Okay, another error. Okay, this device does not support AR. Fine. I kind of knew this. Alright, let's see here. My IDE is over my webcam? No! That means you can't see me. How did this happen? Oh wow, a lot of stuff got stuck under there. And tonight's project. I'm gonna take you out. With the cam. And the alert box. Okay. I think I fixed it. There we go. Mission accomplished. Thank you. My friend says I can go to St. Louis and borrow his. I think that's not going to happen. It'd be great if they could find me a device, though. Do I have another one lying around here? Maybe I just need a different charger for this. BRB! Let's give this a try. I think something happened to this. This device is like 5 years old now, so I doubt I'm going to be able to get a late enough Android version to work on it, but one can dream. Well, that might be the end of this. does not. I thought I looked this up and they said that emulators could do it and it would just use your webcam. Let's see. What do I want? What's wrong with my virtual device? Let's see. I'm gonna kill this virtual device. And then let's create a new one. API is high enough. Create a virtual device. What more do you want from me? On the x86 is supported. What did I create that one out of? What are you? Let's see. Oops. What? There we go. Advanced. It's an x86, Android 11. API 27. Oh, okay. So just x86. That's what I did. All of this. Webcam 0. That shouldn't have mattered. This seems all right. API 30. Oh, virtual scene. Oh, maybe that was it. Okay, let me see. It's gonna get laggy again. Here we go. Moment of truth. All right. Okay. Ah, no. Let's see. Where does this check happen? Create session. Cool. No, it doesn't like it. I'm doing everything right, and it still doesn't like it. It's an x86, which is what they said. It's above a 27, which is what they wanted. I don't know. I think we may be at an impasse. Maybe I'll start another stream with Android or with iOS and see what that looks like. Oh, 2 bots at the same time. Wanna become famous? Buy followers, primes, and viewers. No, that's okay. I prefer to toil in obscurity. Android 11 x86. Okay, so I'm greater than 11. API level 30. Virtual scene. Oh well. Quick boot, cold boot, graphics automatic. Yeah, I might just have to close this project down for now. Well, Jumpy, thanks for joining me. I think I've got to go pick up an Android device somewhere if I want to continue. So yeah, I'll be back on later. I've got to go scour an Android device from somewhere. So thanks for watching. Sorry for the anticlimactic end. But I'll be back later. What was that? Did we get a follow? What was that noise? Where are my events? Oh god, everything's so slow. Okay.